Welcome into the PFF NFL Daily. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's time for our instant reaction to all the Thanksgiving games. Three pretty good, entertaining games here, Sam. So much like we do on a Sunday night, instantly reacting to the day. Let's get right into it. Three games here on Thanksgiving. Started with the Bills with a dramatic comeback win against the Lions. The Cowboys, fighting off the Giants late. And the last game, back and forth between the Vikings and the Patriots. Vikings win to go to 9-2. So, your instant reactions after Thanksgiving football, Sam.
Yeah, well, three good games, I think, is the first one. That virtually never happens, right? There's always one of, if not more, of the games that aren't very good on Thanksgiving. But all three of these games were very watchable, were very close, hard-fought affairs. And I think all three of them were probably closer than the final score made them look. A couple of them, the final result ended up with a decent enough margin, but I think they were all pretty close encounters. And that's the first thing. I didn't expect certainly one of these games, probably two of them, to be that close.
One thing I want to add too is I absolutely love that the NFL has dedicated Thanksgiving to John Madden. I think that's perfect, right? Not only the voice of football, NFC football, and everything for years, but the voice of Thanksgiving football. Nobody loved football more than John Madden, and nobody loved football on Thanksgiving more than John Madden. So I love that. I think that was really cool.
Nobody loved turducken more than John Madden.
Exactly, making turducken, a big-time thing. That Bills game, man, they moved to 8-3 with a 28-25 win over the Lions. A heartbreaker for the Lions. It came down to the very end. The Lions have a game-tying field goal drive, but just felt like they had opportunities. They had all their timeouts. They had opportunities to try to go for a score, and they really trudged through that drive, and they ended up settling for a 51-yard field goal. But I thought they had better opportunities potentially there.
Yeah, I think the final kind of stages of this game really showed the separation between the two teams. Like, it had been close all the way through. It had been a really hard-fought game, and then when it really came down to it, the Lions couldn't really fire. And when it really came down to it, Josh Allen made a couple of insane plays. Stephon Diggs made an insane play. Like, the Bills' quality really began to shine through right at the critical moments when they really needed them to.
Yeah, a 90-play drive in the fourth quarter originally for the Bills on 14 plays to take the lead. Lions came back with that game-tying field goal, and then the Bills 90-yard drive, man. Sorry, 90 yards, okay. 14 plays. You know what I mean? It's late. Mm-hmm. It's late. Had a lot of turkey. Had a few naps. But then you get to at the very end, the Bills have under a minute. Josh Allen absolute strike down the middle of the field, and in one play, the Bills are right back in the field goal range and. Saving their season, man, because they're fighting for that number one seed, fighting for the AFC East.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a big game for them, and Romo was saying this as well. It's a huge game. It's playoff implications. They're in a dogfight in that division. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying it saves their season. Like, I think they're still fine. They're still a playoff team, but it was an important win for them, and it might paper over the fact that Josh Allen had another one of those games where he put the ball in harm's way again. Like we thought last week might have been getting that back under wraps and being able to take the ball out of his hands a little bit more and limit those mistakes. But all of a sudden, this game became this dogfight, and you had to rely on Josh Allen again, and Allen was being careless with the football again.
In the 4 o'clock hour, you got Dallas 28-20 over the Giants, and the Giants hung tough. They're up 13-7 early. But, this is like kind of the story of the Giants season, wasn't it? They had 2 interceptions against Dallas early on, and they're up 13-7. And it just felt like at some point, Dallas, they're a better overall team, better offense, better defense. They're just better. And the Giants are depleted, right? They're completely banged up. They've got, third and fourth string corners, third and fourth string offensive linemen. The fact that they were even up 13-7 at any point, hey, credit Brian Daboll all season, had them playing hard, but the Cowboys were just too good in the end.
Yeah, and Micah Parsons had another one of those games that makes you go, that guy changes the dynamic of everything. And he's been doing this all season long. Like, you think right at the start of the year, they faced Cincinnati, and, he absolutely wrecked Jonah Williams, who's a, standard, average, capable tackle. But in the last 2 weeks, he's wrecked Christian Darrisaw and Andrew Thomas, who were the 2 best graded offensive tackles at PFF before they played Micah Parsons. He also wrecked Blake Brandel, the backup, once Christian Darrisaw went down. And I think today showed that Brandel's actually an okay player. Like, he's not a bad guy to have at left tackle. But in the last three guys, essentially, that Micah Parsons has gone up against, he's just absolutely victimized them to the point where any future opponent has to be looking at that and saying, it doesn't matter who we have at left tackle or right tackle for that matter, we cannot isolate that guy one-on-one. Like, he has to be given the Aaron Donald treatment from now on, like from every team that he faces. Doesn't matter who you have, you cannot go into a game thinking that your guy can take care of him one-on-one, because it's not going to happen.
It's more difficult, though. It's harder to double team an
Yeah.
edge defender like a Micah Parsons than it is an Aaron Donald. All right, Sam, tell us about our friends over at PrizePicks and what you're looking at this week.
Yeah, PrizePicks, love this as a solution to play DFS. You go in there, you pick your slate, any sport, any game, grab some bets that you like, some lines. They've got some numbers there. You just click more or less in terms of the yardage, receptions, whatever the stat is you're looking for. You can pick a few of them. I got 3 here that I like, and then you can choose whether to have the power play. That's all 3 of them, or the flex play, where you only need to hit 2 out of the 3 to still get a payout. Love that as a system.
All right, so you download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code DAILY. If you deposit $100, you get $100. If you deposit $50, you get $50. Don't forget to enter promo code DAILY at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. All right, let's get basically. So in that NFC East game, by the way, 2 teams who were 7-3. We always felt like Dallas is, trending to become one of those. Don't want to play them. Best teams in the NFC. Giants, we mentioned coming into this week too, one of the hardest schedules, if not the hardest schedule remaining. So they fall to 7-4. We'll see if they do end up coming back down to earth. And then the Thursday, they're all Thursday games, Sam. But the final game on Thursday, Patriots-Vikings. No tradition here. None of this Dallas and Detroit. We see them every year. Just a random, matchup we see every 4 years. But boy, what a game. Back and forth. Here's my quick takeaway. Maybe Bill Belichick's former players are better head coaches than his former assistants. Kevin O'Connell, he drafted Mike Vrabel, becoming one of the best coaches in the NFL. Maybe it's the former players who should be getting hired, not the former assistants who have failed elsewhere.
Who's the third? There's supposed to be 3, right? That he's played, former players that Bill Belichick drafted or has coached that have faced him as coaches. I think that's what the broadcast said, and now I can only think of 2. Who's the third?
I didn't hear. I don't know. Zach Robinson soon, though. Zach Robinson will be up there very soon.
I mean, they certainly,
a game, though, back and forth.
Yeah, they're certainly better right now than his coaching staff that have left him. And like that part, I think they've already got sewn up, regardless of what happens from here on in. This was a wild game. Like, the Vikings dodged a lot of bullets in this game and did enough. Like, they put up a ton of yardage against this Patriots defense that have been so good in recent weeks. And you talked about this in our preview show, like, to what extent was the Patriots defense a product of who they'd been playing the last few weeks, and what would it look like against a team that can actually put up some points. So yeah, I think we saw that the Vikings offense, it's not as bad as it looked a week ago when they were getting dismantled by Dallas, and they're going to be able to put up points against most teams. But even then, like, they needed quite a lot to break their way in this game. They needed the kick return touchdown. They needed that Hunter Henry no catch thing that continues to mystify me even after looking at it. So yeah, a lot of bullets dodged, but it's kind of the story of their season, right?
Yeah, it really was. And the Vikings, they do it again in the fourth quarter. One of the things I also mentioned on the preview show was Kirk Cousins, just the confidence that he has in Justin Jefferson. Once again, Jefferson was incredible, but the throw that Cousins made to Jefferson in traffic, over the corner, in front of the safety, Cousins has such confidence in him that he makes his best throws to Justin Jefferson, in addition to Jefferson being just so good at winning at the catch point and holding on, taking the big hit. That was a huge play after the running into the kicker penalty that prolonged that Vikings drive that ended up becoming the game winner.
And they did a good job of showing this on the broadcast, but like, the above and beyond the plays that Jefferson makes, the gravity that he has opens up other things. Thielen's touchdown happens because Jefferson drags 3 people across the field with him. And even then, Cousins was still trying to get it to him. Like, he waited 5 seconds waiting for Jefferson to uncover against 3 guys before he finally went, well, okay, that's not going to happen. Oh, look, Thielen uncovered, because Jefferson's taking everybody over that way and hits him. So like even when he's not making the plays, he's making the plays for somebody else.
So credit the Vikings, man. They're coming off that disastrous game against the Cowboys. They moved to 9-2 with the win. And it's a weird one for the Patriots. The offense finally showed signs of life for the first time in weeks. Mac Jones, his best game since the middle of last year, throwing the ball extremely well, but really a dud at the end. They didn't have much of a chance of winning, but no timeouts, just under a minute, 53 seconds or so to go. Sack, pretty much cans that drive. So disappointing finish for New England. Bill Belichick obviously going to be upset with special teams as well. So a weird game for the Patriots as they fall to 6-5. So it's our instant reactions. It's the initial thing that we saw here on Thanksgiving. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. We'll be back here Monday morning, of course, on the PFF NFL podcast, recapping the entire Week 12 in the NFL. It's the PFF